Hey, welcome to Perspective. In this podcast, we are just two regular people like you reflecting on life's big questions. Why are we here? What's the meaning of it all? There's a lot out there on these topics, but it can feel overly complicated. So, on this podcast, we'll read books, break down the ideas, and see how we can apply them in everyday life. We are sharing our conversations, hoping it helps spark some of your own reflections. So, to kick things off, what are we reading today? This is a book written by Dr. Jiddu Krishnamurti, and here he is talking about how to how to understand ourselves. Okay. Now, where do we begin to understand ourselves? Here am I, and how am I to study myself, observe myself, see what is actually taking place inside myself. I can observe myself only in relationship because all life is relationship. It is no use sitting in a corner meditating about myself. I cannot exist by myself. I exist only in relationship to people, things, ideas, and in studying my relationship to outward things and people, as well as to inward things, I begin to understand myself. Every other form of understanding is merely an abstraction, and I cannot study myself in abstraction. I am not an abstract entity, therefore, I have to study myself in actuality, as I am, not as I wish to be. तो क्या समझ आया?
That you can only study yourself in relation to things which I think मतलब अगर मैं अपनी आइडेंटिटी की बात करूँ, अगर मैं खुद को स्टडी करने की बात करूँ, तो the question will always be asked कि मतलब I think it will be in relation to where I am born, which religion I belong to, or what my profession is, what I've studied. So in that way, it has always been in relation to something.
I think what he's trying to say is also includes situation पे मेरा reaction कैसा है. तो like when he said कि मैं अपने आप को एक कॉर्नर में बैठ के नहीं एनालाइज कर सकता, नहीं स्टडी कर सकता. It is always in relation to things, in relation to external things, and then what is happening inside you.
बट मेडिटेशन में तो आप अकेले बैठ के स्टडी कर रहे हो तो
हाँ, तो वही तो बोला कि it is no use sitting in a corner meditating about myself.
I don't think I agree with that.
I cannot exist by myself. I exist only in relationship to people, things, and ideas.
हाँ तो I am X, I am Y, I am Z, I am this, let's say, geographical place, I am this profession, or I am this religion. That will always be in relation to something else. But while I'm studying it, I have to seclude myself, sit in a corner, and then whatever the thought comes up to me, I will observe that. That will help me decode who I am. So I think those two things are not mutually exclusive.
Okay, I think he talks about two things in the following paragraph. Let's study that and then we'll come back. Understanding is not an intellectual process. Acquiring knowledge about yourself and learning about yourself are two different things.
Understanding and learning.
Acquiring knowledge and learning.
Okay.
For the knowledge you accumulate about yourself is always of the past. And a mind that is burdened with the past is a sorrowful mind. Learning about yourself is not like learning a language or science or technology. Then you obviously have to accumulate and remember. It would be absurd to begin all over again. But in the psychological field, learning about yourself is always in the present, and knowledge is in the past. And as most of us live in the past and are satisfied with the past, knowledge becomes extraordinarily important to us. That is why we worship the erudite, the clever, the cunning. But if you are learning all the time, learning every minute, learning by watching and listening, learning by seeing and doing, then you will find that learning is a constant movement without the past.
Interesting.
If you say you will learn gradually about yourself, adding more and more, little by little, you are not studying yourself now as you are, but through acquired knowledge.
But then what do you then what would be the case of me learning in retrospective? Like I did some behavior at, let's say, at my friend's place or with some colleague, and then I'm now at this moment I'm thinking about that, was my behavior correct or not? So does the author mean to say that we don't learn anything from that? That is just knowledge accumulation.
I think what happens is when you think about past, so you don't think about that event as it happened. You recall your memory. और मेमोरी में तो हमेशा तुम्हारे इमोशंस, तुम्हारे पर्सपेक्टिव, तुम्हारा सब कुछ मिक्स होके स्टोर होता है. तो जब तुम रेट्रोस्पेक्टिव में सोच रहे हो, तो इट विल ऑलवेज बी स्लाइटली skewed by your things. तो इसलिए वो बोल रहे हैं कि जो हम रेट्रोस्पेक्टिव में करते हैं, दैट इज नॉट लर्निंग, क्योंकि वो एज इट इज नहीं होगा.
I mean, I agree, it can be biased. Of course, you are recalling that memory, that part is correct. And I can have a story, or I can have a version of that incident, which might not be the same as the other version. But that doesn't mean you completely cannot learn anything out of that. I mean, I am personally, like, right now, I'm not feeling very convinced that I have not learned from my behavior, analyzing my past behavior.
I think definitely we do learn. ऐसा नहीं है कि we don't learn, but it's always not fully learned. तुम सेम चीज के बारे में अगर कुछ महीनों बाद सोचोगे तो तुम्हें कुछ और दिखेगा, तुम कुछ और लर्न करोगे.
बस learn करोगे.
हाँ, you will learn.
Then that's not okay.
You will learn, but it will. I feel that that's why you learn about yourself with the same event multiple times.
But then the author is saying that learning always happens in the present.
हाँ, क्योंकि वो जो बोल रहे हैं, जैसे वो बोल रहे हैं learning by seeing and doing. So what happens when you learn by seeing? Or like if you're seeing somebody do something and then you are learning, तो उसमें क्या होता है?
That's also past, no? If I'm seeing somebody and then I'm copying the exact same behavior, I'm seeing something that I just observed that has already happened. I've observed that and then I'm repeating it. So I'm also learning from the past.
And learning by doing?
I think the author is trying to say something different in the sense कि अगर आप सेल्फ अवेयर होते हो तो उस मोमेंट में जब वो चीज घटी है तब आप में जो विजडम आई है उसको वो लर्निंग बोलना चाहता है author, I think.
I'll reread it. Understanding is not an intellectual process. Acquiring knowledge about yourself and learning about yourself are two different things. For knowledge you accumulate about yourself is always of the past, and a mind that is burdened with the past is a sorrowful mind. Learning about yourself is not like learning a language. Then you obviously have to accumulate and remember. It would be absurd to begin all over again. But in the psychological field, learning about yourself is always in the present and knowledge is always in the past. And as most of us live in the past and are satisfied with the past, knowledge becomes extraordinarily important to us. That is why we worship the clever, the cunning. But if you are learning all the time, learning every minute, learning by watching and listening, learning by seeing and doing, then you will find that learning is a constant movement without the past.
I think knowledge, when the author is saying knowledge about yourself, knowledge is facts. Facts such as where were you born, what is your mother tongue, what is your education, what is your profession. That is also thing about yourself. That is a thing. Those are facts about yourself, but that is knowledge. Now, I think what the author means by learning about yourself, let's say, and learning can only happen in the present because that will be something, some insightful thing that you have discovered, and that discovery can only happen right now. Maybe you have gone through an experience. Maybe you've gone through an experience and then you watched a video that empathy can be a double-edged sword. And in that moment, there are a lot of things connected for you. Like your past behavior, why it caused you suffering, that made sense. So that is something insightful that you learn in an instant. At this moment, you just learned it. So that's learning. That's not knowledge.
Basically new connections form हो रहा है उस moment में.
Yeah.
So that is the different kind of learning, and
That is learning.
हाँ, that is learning.
That's knowledge.
Wow. If you say you will learn gradually about yourself, adding more and more, little by little, you're not studying yourself now as you are, but through acquired knowledge. Learning implies a great sensitivity. There is no sensitivity if there is an idea which is of the past dominating the present. Then the mind is no longer quick, pliable, alert. Most of us are not sensitive even physically. We overeat, we do not bother about the right diet, we oversmoke and drink so that our bodies become gross and insensitive. The quality of attention in the organism itself is made dull. How can there be a very alert, sensitive, clear mind if the organism itself is dull and heavy? We may be sensitive about certain things that touch us personally, but to be completely sensitive to all the implications of life demands that there be no separation between the organism and the psyche. It is a total movement. मतलब इतना ज़्यादा attentive हो तुम हमेशा that you learn, like you keep learning. Always the new connections in your mind are forming.
But the average human and the majority of us are always trying to be intoxicated, if I may say. For example, watching things while eating. You already have few of your senses engaged, and then you're engaging more sense, so that to be completely immersed, engrossed. I think that is something that the author is talking about. That what is the need for intoxication, and what's the difference between being sensitive.
I think वही हाँ, जैसे इससे मुझे बस एक वो बुद्धा वाली जो बुक है ओल्ड पाथ न्यू वाइट क्लाउड्स, उसमें जब नया नया एनलाइटनमेंट हुआ होता है तो पहली चीज जो बुद्धा करते हैं, वो जो पास के गांव के बच्चे आते थे उनके पास खाना देने उनको, तो उनको बुलाते हैं उनका फर्स्ट लाइक लेसन ये होता है कि बी कंप्लीटली अवेयर, है ना. और उसके लिए वो क्या करते हैं कि टैमरिंड लेके आने बोलते हैं उनको, और बोलते हैं कि अब वो टैमरिंड को जब तुम छील रहे हो, खा रहे हो, तो फुल फोकस उसमें होना चाहिए. जब छील रहे हो तो उसका टेक्सचर देखो, खा रहे हो तो वो ऐसे क्या लाइक टेस्ट ला रहा है, वो सब बारीकी से देखो. आई थिंक उस लेवल का अटेंशन हर समय होने की बात कर रहा है. बट isn't that won't it make you slow?
I think you can try it. What we're talking about as practical things. We want things to be practical. So I would advise trying out both things. Like you know how your current life is, how fast or slow you are, and then you can try being whatever state, like mindful, if you may say. You can try to be more attentive, more mindful, and then see if it slows you down or not. I think your apprehension about of each and every observing things, and it theoretically feels that it will slow you down. It theoretically feels that if you're observing more delicately and everything, it will take more time, and that's why it will slow you down. I think that's your perception.
Yeah.
My perception is different. So when I monotask and I deliberately monotask, so if I am monotasking and all my attention is in what I am doing, I turn to finish my tasks faster.
Okay.
That has been my observation. And I think being mindful or being alert gives you a richer experience on a day-to-day basis. Another example could be like, let's say when you're bathing, Okay, normally when you're bathing, your mind is somewhere else, but still you are having taking a bath. But what I perceive what author is talking about is to be more sensitive. And if you're being more sensitive while bathing, you are still bathing, you are still taking that 10 minutes, but you'll be more sensitive to your body. Okay, how's the water flowing on your body, and then how does it feel to you? And in that process, you might discover something that your body is telling you. So that can be more fruitful in the end, and not and both the situations take 10 minutes.
Quality over quantity.
Absolutely.
Okay, coming back. To understand anything, you must live with it. You must observe it. You must know all its content, its nature, its structure, its movement. Have you ever tried living with yourself? If so, you will begin to see that yourself is not a static state. It is a fresh living thing. And to live with a living thing, your mind must also be alive. And it cannot be alive if it is caught in opinions, judgments, and values.
True.
What do you make of this?
Which part is it?
The whole thing. And to live with a living thing, your mind must be alive. And it cannot be alive if it is caught in opinions, judgments, and values.
What do you- Let's say there is a couple, and the couple fought over something, and one person said something about the other person that your behavior is XYZ. Okay. Now, what the author is trying to say is that when you are, what does he say? When you are living,
And to live with a living thing.
yeah, and to live with a living thing, which means the couple scenario is,
Your mind must be alive.
yeah,
And it cannot be alive if it is caught in opinions, judgments, and values.
yeah. So if the other person is still caught up in that opinion, which was said by let's say the male said something at an earlier stage, and now if the female's mind is still caught up by what he said, that you are this, then even the new conversation between the male and the female will also be perceived differently, but that will not be living, as what the author.
It will always be colored. In order to observe the movement of your own mind and heart, of your whole being, you must have a free mind. Not a mind that agrees and disagrees, taking sides in an argument, disputing over mere words, but rather following with an intention to understand. A very difficult thing to do because most of us don't know how to look at or listen to our own being any more than we know how to look at the beauty of a river or listen to the breeze among the trees. When we condemn or justify, we cannot see clearly, nor can we when our minds are endlessly chattering. Then we do not observe what is. We look only at the projections we have made of ourselves. Each of us has an image of what we think we are or what we should be, and that image, that picture, entirely prevents us from seeing ourselves as we actually are. This is so true.
This is also connects back to the theme of self-awareness.
Yes.
That before you know it, others have a picture of how you should be, maybe based on your gender or where you are. So being self-aware helps you to be aware of this perception.
But so what he is trying to say is कि जितना भी तुम्हारा perception रहा है, जो भी तुमने तुम्हारे दिमाग में एक world view बनाया है, जो भी चीजें तुम्हारे दिमाग में fit है, उस सबको side करो.
Start afresh, yes.
Every moment should feel fresh,
Yes.
right? But this whole mechanism of storing things and using it when we need it is there for a purpose. It makes the mind more efficient in working, right? मतलब it also, like for example, अगर मैं चल रही हूँ कहीं पे और मुझे पता है, आई नो कि रात हो रही है और वो एरिया सेफ नहीं है, तो मुझे एक तरीके से बिहेव करना है. Now this can only happen because I have accumulated some knowledge. There is some mental model. कि भाई इंडिया सेफ नहीं है, या इतने बजे रात के बाद मुझे बाहर नहीं निकलना चाहिए, है ना. तो इट हेल्प्स इन सो मेनी सर्कमस्टांसेस. सो हाउ कैन आई ऑलवेज feel fresh? How can I always just ignore all my experiences and learned behavior and always be new?
Yeah, fair point. Fair point. I mean, at the end of the day, context is important, and this is what we're talking about is wisdom. Okay. सो सही बोला. लाइक प्रैक्टिकली हाँ, माइंड की जरूरत है, नॉलेज की जरूरत है, मेमोरी की जरूरत है, जो भी हमने सीखा है या पढ़ा है कि यहाँ सेफ है, नहीं जाना है, मौत का खतरा है, वॉटेवर, वो होना चाहिए. ठीक है. जो ऑथर बोल रहे हैं ना, उसका एप्लीकेशन अगर मैं शेयर करूँ तो वो एक अलग एप्लीकेशन में, एक अलग कॉन्टेक्स्ट में अप्लाई करने के लिए मैं अलग तरीके से अप्लाई करता हूँ. मैं किस तरीके से अप्लाई करता हूँ कि जब मुझे लगता है कि मेरे तो हर दिन रोज मैं उठ के सेम चीज करता हूँ, मैं रोज उठ के ये करता हूँ, उसके बाद यहाँ जाता हूँ, ये काम करता हूँ, शाम को आता हूँ, खाता हूँ, सो जाता हूँ. जब मुझे वो मोनोटोनिटी लगती है, तब मैं ये प्रिंसिपल यूज करके ये रिफ्रेम करता हूँ कि इफ आई लुक क्लोजली एवरीथिंग इज न्यू एट एनी गिवन डे. इट कैनॉट बी द सेम एज व्हाट इट हैपेंड प्रीवियसली. Every day is different. How you will brush is different. How the things will happen to you when you are driving will be different. It is not possible that 2 days are similar. So मैं उस तरीके से एक फ्रेश, वो एक एप्लीकेशन है टू बी ऑलवेज बी फ्रेश. दूसरा एप्लीकेशन ये है कि तुम किसी से भी मिलते हो, तुम्हारे पेरेंट्स हो, घर वाले हो, सिबलिंग्स हो, बॉयफ्रेंड गर्लफ्रेंड, किसी से भी मिलते हो, यू नेवर मीट द सेम पर्सन ट्वाइस. That is another application where you have to understand and you have to be mindful that it's always a fresh moment, it's always a fresh conversation. You haven't met that person before, even though practically you would have, तुम उसके साथ रहते भी हो, क्या पता. तो वो एक चीज है. तो ये विजडम है, उसमें हमेशा विजडम की चीज अप्लाई करने के लिए तुम्हें प्रैक्टिकल रहना ही पड़ेगा. वो तो सब चीज है ही, पर ये नुआंसेस है.
Maybe when I start using it, I'll get accustomed to it. It is one of the most difficult things in the world to look at anything simply. Because our minds are very complex, we have lost the quality of simplicity. I don't mean simplicity in clothes or food, wearing only a loincloth or breaking a record fasting or any of that immature nonsense that saints cultivate. But the simplicity that can look directly at things without fear, that can look at ourselves as we actually are without any distortion. To say when we lie, not cover it up or run away from it. Or we have, but that's it for today.
Okay.
Okay.